Hi, I'm Mike B from the Who Dares Rolls podcast, and this is Who Dares Rolls TV. And you join me in the secret Who Dares Rolls crypt today, where we will be looking at another Kickstarter game, a local game from a local designer called Mind Out. Now, minds are very popular in movies. They make movies much better. For instance, this. However, we'll be looking at Mind Out. Now, in this itty bitty box, tiny weeny little box, we're going to be looking at a game which is epically mind expansive. Mind Out. It's on Kickstarter now, but let's have a peek at what's going on inside of here then, shall we? Jolly good. Over to Mike over there. Right, so here we have a basic setup for Mind Out. Everyone has the same setup. We all start the game like this. Now I'll run you through a few things on it. So everyone starts the game with a action board, like this, player action board. So on the left is all the actions we can do. For one action point, we can move left and right one space. For 2 action points, we can move down. Now you can only move down at the start of the game. Later on, you can upgrade and go up, but for the minute, we can only mind down. For 3 action points, we can buy an upgrade card, and I'll go into those in a second. For 1 action point, we can use our stick of dynamite, which is incredibly exciting, and for 2 action points and 2 yellow gems, we can shore up something. But we'll go into what we can shore up and how in a minute. The rest of it is some action points at the bottom there. There is the gems we're collecting and the points they're worth, the victory points at the end of the game, and that's everything on that board. So that's how that is. Very exciting. So, starting the game, we also start off obviously with our trusty mining meeple. These for shoring up, which we'll go into a minute, and the exciting stick of dynamite, which will also go on. So, we start with 3 action points. Everyone has 3 action points to start the game, which you can spend on your turn. Now, as the game starts, the first thing that happens is we turn over the top green gem here, and that gets placed down in the top middle of the playing space, which is here. So that's going to go here. Presume eventually all of these cards are going to fill out and do exciting stuff, and we place our meeple in the top middle. Now we can move this whatever way we want, but we're going to have it there. So he mines, and he starts off by mining on the green gem there. So we get a green gem for doing that, and this area now becomes unstable. So we tilt it to show it's unstable. We can mine again in that area, but if we mine any more in an unstable area, it will collapse, which is terrible news for us. And the card gets flipped, and then we can't mine on it anymore. So there's that. So running along the bottom here, let's get into this, is all of our upgrades that we can upgrade. There's 4 of them, and once one person has completed all of their upgrades, the game ends, and then we score, and whoever's got the highest score is going to win. So for a 2 yellow and 1 red gem in our gem supply, we pay the 3 action points, we can upgrade that, and that gives us 1 additional action point for the rest of the game. So we'd got to 4 there, and every time we'd have 4 action points, and it's worth 6 victory points. The ladder for 2 green and 1 red, when we upgrade that, will allow us finally for 2 action points to climb. Climbing is very important later on, as we will see. For 1 of each gem, we can upgrade the minecart, which will allow us to collect more gems. At the moment we're maxed at 6. With this we can go up to 10. Quite useful when you want to go mining. And that's worth 5 victory points. And finally, the shovel we can upgrade for 1 green and 1 red. That will allow us to climb down for 1 action point as opposed to the 2 we start with. That's quite useful for whizzing around. So that's it. And once all of those have been done, then we score up. Whoever gets that first, that's when we score. Yeah. So, the game. So on a turn, you can use your 3 starting action points. And you can use as many of them or as little of them as you want. So we start the game, we've mined, we've made this area unstable. So I can use 2 action points, and I can dig downwards from this point. Now if I was to dig down and hit this, then we're going to make that very unstable, so we're not going to do that. So we can go down to here, down in one area and our thing, and then I can use 1 action point, losing done, to turn to the right, and I can go to there, and so on and so forth. So as we go further into the game, if you don't use all your action points, then they're banked. So if I only use 1 or 2, then next turn that will refill up with the extra 3, and it could potentially take me to 4. So you can save action points to do more goodies. As we mine down, so say I mine off this card into this area, we flip one of these yellow cards, and again we can rotate that to whatever way we want it to be. So we'll just do it like that. We've gone on to here. So we've got 3 red gems on this area here. I could instantly mine back down again by using an action, and that will tilt that, and that will give me a red gem. Now what you can do here for 2 action points and 2 yellows, say I've got 2 yellow gems, I can shore up. So at the cost of 2 action points and those 2 yellow gems, you can shore up an area which stabilizes those bits. So now we can run around madly mining those areas as much as we want, like so, and it won't destabilize the area. Fantastic. Okay, bearing in mind, of course, we can't go back up until we've upgraded with the ladder power. So to start the game, you're forced to be going mining down deeper into the mines until you find extra gems, and there's only a certain point in the game when you eventually upgrade your ladder skill, when you'll then be able to go back up. So bear that in mind as you lay out your map and how you do stuff. And obviously every cave-in you cause, you can't then go onto those squares. Now cave-ins bring us to another exciting thing, which is the stick of dynamite. Okay, every player has one of these. You can only use one once. It's a one-off deal. It will cost you 1 action point any point during your game. When you use your stick of dynamite, you may see me here happily mining around my area, getting lots of gems, yum 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 yum. Well then you go, I don't like that. I've had enough of that shenanigans. So you play your dynamite. What that does is you pick a thing and you blow it up. Boom. That is now done with. Depending on where I am on the card will mean I bounce off to the next area. So I was near the edge there, that will bounce me into there, like so. That is basically the game. So once we've scored all of these, one person's filled up the entirety of their upgrades, the game ends. You're scored on your gems, depending on how many gems you've got here. So you'll score 1 point for every green gem, 2 for every yellow, 3 for every red. Plus the upgrades cards will obviously score what you've scored at that point in time. So 6, 4, 5 and 3, and that's it. The game ends at that point. Very easy, very straightforward. There we go. Don't need to tell you anymore. Go over to Mike over there. He's probably got more of an idea what's happening. Thank you, Mike, over there, for giving us that run-through of Mine Downs. So there we go, that's how the game plays. And it all fits in this light little TARDIS-y sort of powered box. I mean, there's a load of... Good, look at all this. All of that in that tiny box. It's almost epic in its tininess. And we are in the world of Kickstarters and these sort of micro games, and this sits proudly amongst them. It's a very light game. It's simple and very light. It's kid friendly and gamers can play it. As I run you through it, it's got lots of options, lots of things you can be doing. There's all different connotations of the mine cards. So every time you play, the mine layout will be different, and how you play it is different. There is a lot of thinking. It is solo in a certain way. There's only the one interaction, which is with the dynamite stick, so you are kind of playing individual little solitaire games of your mining, but it's an enjoyable enough pastime. You're keeping one eye on what your opponents are doing. You're having a peek at them as they dig around their mine, and if you make a bad decision and dig down too far, you can find yourself trapped. So it's, you know, where you lay out that area and how you move around it is quite important. It's quite easy at the start of the game to go digging off somewhere, and if you've spread your cards out in a certain way, if you can't get that nice economy of size of where you can just kind of keep digging and troughing up all the gems, then you can find yourself in a problem where a friend, you know, an opponent has got themselves the optimum mining capacity. Of course, once the optimum mining capacity is there, then your good friend Mr. Dynamite is in position to stop all that fun and games straight away. And the optimum time of knowing when to use that, take that ability, that dick move is the importance of the game. If you could stop that economy someone's racing around through with the old dynamite, then a lot of fun can be had with that. So that is mean. That's about the only meanness in the game. The rest of it is really down to you kind of working out what's everyone else doing, how many upgrades have they got, when to upgrade, what upgrade to hit, where to then get the optimum mining of your mining area. It's great stuff. It's really good fun. It's on Kickstarter now, as we know. Plays anywhere from 2 to 4 players. The more players is more interesting, but it plays quite well with the lower counts. Obviously, more players means more opportunity for dick moves, which is always fun. We enjoy it. If there was any issue I have with the game at all, it's probably the tilting of the cards when you've mined out an area. It just gets a little bit messy in this middle area there when you're flipping cards and then, oh, what's my way down? There could be other options around it. You could use a marker of some sort, but obviously fitting markers in here, in this box, to be able to do that is going to be pushing that to extensive limits. But you could use tiddlywinks or something else laying around. We're gamers, we have stuff laying around. I have a ping pong ball. That doesn't work. So there you go. That's mined out. Have a look at the place managers now. It's on there now. Comes highly recommended. If you're looking for something that you can stick in your backpack, in your pocket, take around and take to the pub and have a quick game, it's there. 30 minutes worth of play. All entertaining. Done, bang, wallop. Go straight back in the box and it's there for another day. Mined out. On Kickstarter now. It's a local game for local people. For us, anyway.